Hi, I'm Jeff Cohn, and thank you very much for being with us today. We are just so delighted to have this special episode of the Mayor's Corner, the mayor of the Village of University Park, Mayor Joseph Rudaz. Mayor, how are you today?
I'm fine, Jeff. Thanks for asking.
Good, good, good. I am really delighted to be here for the first annual University Park Women's Leadership Awards program that you and the First Lady have put together. It's going to be a really spectacular opportunity to honor women in the state of Illinois and the South of Land region have just done some remarkable things in terms of leadership positions. And it's been great to watch many of them that I personally know just grow over the last 2 decades that I've watched them aspire and to achieve the leadership positions that they're in. We have a very esteemed group of women gathered today with us, and I feel lucky just to be here with all of them today. And we have a special host, co-host that's going to be with us in terms of helping to provide them with their acknowledgements and special awards. I am delighted to have with me today Tia Ewing today with us as well. She is an American Emmy Award-winning journalist serving as a morning reporter at Fox 32 Chicago. She is seen on air Mondays through Fridays, 5 p.m., 9 p.m., and 11:30 as well. On the Later with Leon, Fox is a owned and operated television station licensed in Chicago, Illinois, United States. And I'm delighted to have her with me. She is here with us today. Her interest in broadcast journalism started right in the city of Chicago, where she was born, and where Oprah Winfrey's Harpo Studios gave her a vision and her aspiration to be a future journalist. She attended the Ohio State University and received a BA in English and a Master's of Arts in Mass Communication and Journalism from Point Park University. She is a current member of the National Association of Black Journalists, and she's also an Emmy Award winner as well. So I'm delighted to have here with us today, Tia. And as you know, we got a lot of stories going on today, so she just may have to get off and disappear on us, but no one taking offense to that. We know her job and we know the things that she has to do. So Tia, I will turn it over to you and welcome to you as well.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. Yeah, you said it best. I'm always busy. So unfortunately, I do have to write a story that many of you have probably seen about the bomber, that bomb situation that happened in the downtown area. So at 7, I will have to jump off. But I wanted to talk about, women's history and really what it means to me. I grew up in the city of Chicago, but I lived in so many different neighborhoods. As a child, I lived in 7 different neighborhoods, which spanned it from Oak Park, Forest Park, Blue Island, Riverdale, Inglewood, Morgan Park. But what was so great about that, most people would look at that as a negative, but what was so great about growing up in so many different areas in Chicago was I got to see so many powerful, strong women. And at the time, it didn't really resonate because you're young. You're not really thinking how these women impact your life. But as I was preparing for this event tonight, I was thinking about women's history and some of the women that stuck out in my mind just growing up here in Chicago. And the first woman I thought about, and maybe because as a kid I was influenced by fashion and style and all of that, the first woman that I thought about was Dorothy Tillman. And not only was she stylish, but she was fearless. She fought for the people on Chicago's South Side. And as you know, that fight continues today for people on the South and West Sides. Many of those communities often forgotten, not just in news coverage, but when it comes to dollars being planted into those communities. And then I thought about Carol, and I remember her name like to a T, Carol Elizabeth Mosley Braun, who rose from the Cook County Recorder of Deeds and then was propelled to the US Senate. And then from there, I thought about, well, who would I think about right now in terms of government that would stick out in my mind? And it would have to be Juliana Stratton. She's obviously Illinois' first Black female lieutenant governor. And it's just so great to watch her making history, how seeing someone like that in our community every single day, how it influences young minds and even old minds like mine. And then when I think about my own career, I think about Carol Simpson, which I don't know if a lot of people know about Carol Simpson, but she was the first Black woman to anchor a major news network. And She happens to be from Chicago. So without seeing some of those women in action, it's no telling what I would become, because as a little girl moving around all the time, one of the benefits to my household as a child was we always watched the news. No matter what station it was, we always watched the news. And as a kid, I found myself being like a little gossiper. I actually started a little radio show in my neighborhood, and I would gossip about things that I saw in the neighborhood. But I didn't realize how all of those people, I would talk about government officials, even looking back now, I was only in third grade, but I would talk about government officials, and it was women that really impacted what I saw in myself and impacted what I would become. So it's so interesting how watching as a little girl, you're hoping one day that you could become the next Carol Moseley Braun, that you could become the next Julie Adam Stratton, or Carol Simpson in my case. And so it's just so important that we remember the important roles that women have played in our society. So that's why I'm so happy to be here. Jeff, I'll send it back to you.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Tia. It's a great pleasure again to be here with you. And as we continue this, I know that we all have very busy schedules, but we really want to take our time in doing this. We had a great celebration during the Black History Month celebration, and it was really exciting and fun. We did not rush through it. And so we're not going to rush through it just for the simple fact of achieving the expeditiousness in terms of people being on schedule. So we have several honorees that we're going to honor today. But before we get started, I wanted to allow the mayor to actually say a few words, because this is near and dear to his heart, this program. He and the First Lady have reflected on this and have been thinking about, through the office of the mayor's office of special events, what are the special things that can be done for the village of University Park to uplift the village, to make it feel special, to honor it, and so people are even extra special to live in his village. And so I turn it over to the mayor to share some of those special words with you and his vision for this particular night. Mayor?
I'll be real brief. Thanks, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joseph Rudez III, Mayor of University Park. When the First Lady and I were talking about what we could do for Women's History Month, we started talking about all of the outstanding women who we knew that were part of the Southland area, who had made a difference in the lives of our citizens. Although we could not honor them all tonight, we have selected women who were first in their roles in government, business, as well in law and in the churches. We wanted to show the young women and girls in our community what you can achieve. We thank the women who you will meet tonight for the contributions and achievements. We thank our co-host here tonight, Mr. Jeff Cohn, and Fox TV News TV anchor Tia Ewing, for sharing their time and talents to help us kick off our first annual Women's History Month program. We are truly excited to have with us tonight Ms. Tia Ewing, a top journalist in her own right, but who is part of a Black television reporting dynasty in Chicago area television. Her dad, Russ Ewing, overcame great prejudice and bigotry as he forged his way to become a top television reporter in Chicago. He paved the way as one of the Black icons of journalism in our state. He is best known for his investigative reporting, and that's where she gets it from, and for helping to save the lives of many African Americans who often trust him to bring them to law enforcement officials when they were suspects in crime. But tonight, before we get started and Jeff introduces you all to Tia, I want to share a quick program note and give a very big shout out to our Congresswoman, Robin Kelly. Due to pressing Washington business, Congressman Kelly will not be able to stay with us to the end of our program. So when you see her sign off, we just ask her in advance to take greetings from the village of University Park to President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, who we all know too is the first African-American woman in her role as the first Black and Asian female Vice President of the United States. Jeff, I'll toss it to you now, please, to introduce Ms. Ewing. Thanks again for your time. You're muted, Jeff. He's talking good.
That's the daggone thing with Zoom. You got to speak. Make sure that your mic is not muted, right?
Man, you were talking good too.
So thank you, Mayor, and I appreciate that. And it's a great opportunity again just to be here. And I'm going to turn it over to Tia Ewing just before we start the acknowledgement of the awardees for tonight.
Okay. And in terms of the awardees, let me pull them up, make sure I have the ones that we're going to start with. Okay.
The first one.
So the first one that I have on my list is Sonia Coffey. Am I wrong?
Nope. Let me go ahead and just read their names and then I will read the bio. So if you would just read each of their names and I'll read the Congresswoman Robin Kelly's first.
Okay. Let's
Just
go
call
with
their names out.
Okay. Congresswoman Robin Kelly.
Good. Thank you. And this gives me extra pleasure to really introduce Congresswoman Robin Kelly. I went back and calculated the years that I've known her, and truly she is one of the people on this award presentation tonight that I've known for almost 3 decades, actually. And it's just been a true pleasure to watch her in a very humble fashion. You would not know the things that I'm going to read and cover in her bio that she's done, because she is one of the most humblest servant leaders that I've known. And so it just gives me an extra pleasure to introduce her tonight for this acknowledgement. As a daughter of a small business owner and postal worker, Congresswoman Robin Kelly has dedicated her career to public service as an advocate for Illinois families. Since being elected to serve the 2nd Congressional District in 2013, she has worked to expand economic opportunities, community wellness, and public safety across the state, championed numerous initiatives to generate job growth, reduce health disparities, and end gun violence. Congresswoman Kelly is a member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee and serves on several other subcommittees. She works to expand access to health care, consumer protection, and economic development for American families. As a staunch champion of common sense gun reforms and responsible community policing, Representative Kelly is a co-chair of the Congressional Gun Violence Prevention Task Force. After the outbreak of gun violence in Illinois, Congresswoman Kelly authored the 2014 Kelly Report on Gun Violence in America, the first ever congressional analysis of nation's gun violence epidemic that offers a blueprint for ending the crisis. Congresswoman Kelly's Illinois roots run deep. Prior to her election to Congress, Kelly served as an Illinois state representative. She has also served as a chief administrative officer of Cook County, the 2nd largest county in the United States, and was a chief of staff to Illinois State Treasurer Alexi Giannoulias, becoming the first African-American woman to serve as a chief of staff to an elected constitutional statewide officer. She holds a BA in psychology and a Master's of Art in Counseling from Bradley University, and a PhD in political science from Northern Illinois University. She lives in Matheson with her husband, Dr. Nate Horn, and has 2 adult children, Kelly and Ryan. And again, Congresswoman Kelly, it gives me great honors to give you this award. Thank you very much for your leadership and your service.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is a beautiful piece of hardware. Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Jeff, who I've known forever, it seems like. And thank you, Mayor Rudez and Chairwoman Rudez. And thank you to the Village of University Park for this very special honor. I'm especially humbled and gratified because of the other women getting the awards, and they are so deserving. Each of my fellow honorees has positively influenced and changed countless lives within our community. And they also are stellar role models for our young people. That's what we talked about, being role models. And I am honored and I am humbled to be a part of this group of extraordinary women. But I'll just say one more thing. We need more women in leadership. We know how to do it. We know how to get things done. We know how to compromise when we need to compromise. And we know how to make this world a better place. So thank you so much again. I really appreciate the acknowledgement, and congratulations to the other awardees. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman Kelly. And we know that you, in advance, that you may have to disappear from the screen. So thank you again for being with us tonight. It's always a pleasure. Tia?
Our next woman who is definitely making history is Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, who is definitely a history maker. I mean, what else can you say about her except for she will definitely go down in the history books.
Yes, thank you, Tia. Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton is excited to serve Illinois as the state's 48th Lieutenant Governor. In this role, her portfolio includes leading the Justice, Equity, and Opportunity Initiative and chairing the Illinois Council on Women and Girls, the Governor's Rural Affairs Council, the Military Economic Development Council, and the Illinois River Coordinating Council. He's got her pretty busy, I would say. Juliana Stratton started her own consulting firm focused on alternative dispute resolution and served as a mediator, arbitrator, and administrative law judge for several government agencies. Stratton previously served as a director for the Center for Public Safety and Justice at the University of Illinois, Chicago, executive director of the Cook County Justice Advisory Council, and as a deputy hearing commissioner for the City of Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, all with a focus on improving public safety and building stronger community. She was also a founding board member of Chicago's Children's Advocacy Center and served the board of directors of the Juvenile Protective Association. In 2016, Stratton challenged Ken Duncan for the 5th district seat in the Illinois House of Representatives and won. Stratton earned a Bachelor's of Science from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and a Juris Doctorate from DePaul University. Stratton is married and is the mother of 4 daughters. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, for your service. Although she isn't here, she's here in spirit today, but we're acknowledging the fine work that she's doing in her leadership position with Governor J.B. Pritzker.
All right, next we have the cannabis czar. That is what she has definitely been nicknamed as in the state, Toy Hutchison. She's a senior advisor to the governor of Illinois.
Thank you, Tia. And she was unable to be with us as well, but we will have a video, a special presentation that she has provided us. On September 26, 2019, it was announced that J.B. Pritzker, Governor J.B. Pritzker, appointed Hutchison to be Illinois Cannabis Regulation Oversight Officer, a role created by the Illinois Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act to oversee the rollout of the statewide legalization of recreational cannabis. As a governor's senior advisor, Hutchison oversees the relevant activities of multiple agencies, including the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Public Health, Department of Revenue, Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and the Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. She will also oversee the policymaking related to the Illinois State Police. Previously, she was a full-time state legislator in Illinois. She graduated from University of Illinois at Urbana with a bachelor's in English. She has served as the Olympia Fields Village Clerk from 2002 through 2006. And among her many accomplishments, she is proud of matriculating from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government Executive Management program and being a 2012 Edgar Fellow at the Illinois Institute of Government and Public Affairs. Currently, she is a Southland resident and lives in Olympia Fields and with her husband and her family. And we'd like to thank Toy Hutchison for her leadership in the state of Illinois. Thank you. I think we have a special presentation.
Hi, everybody. I am Toy Hutchinson, and I'm just so honored to receive this award. So first, let me thank Mayor Rudez, the Board of Trustees for the Village of University Park, and everybody who had a hand in honoring women this month. I spend a lot of time talking about the people who don't make the newspapers and that we don't get a chance to know their names. And so I'm honored that I get to be amongst folks that would be recognized, but I accept this award on behalf of all the people who don't have voices and need us to be those voices. And so whenever we get into a position of power, when we get into a position where we have an opportunity to lift as we climb, to make sure that there are people who are coming up behind us, to know that even if we serve in whatever capacity we serve as a first, to make sure that we are committed to the fact that we won't be the last. That's what's most important to me about any time I get a chance to say thank you to people who want to award me, because really the work that I do is work that I would do no matter where I was or what I was doing or where I'm from. It's just such a part of me. So after spending almost 11 years in the state Senate and then being asked to by Governor Pritzker to come lead this legalization effort here in Illinois, I'm aware of two things. One, that when you break new ground and you break it first, it's hard. It's so very hard because we're trying to dismantle 87 years of failed drug policy that specifically impacted Black and brown communities around this country for a product that has had global use by indigenous cultures around the world for thousands of years. And so now we find ourselves in this situation where there's this movement, there's an equity movement happening, and being able to dismantle structures really gives us a clear idea of what institutional and structural racism is and how it works in layers to make it very difficult for communities to break through. That's a reality. That's part of the story of us in this country. And it doesn't mean that when it gets hard that you stop. It doesn't mean that when you get to the point where you don't know what the next move is and you don't know whether or not you're going to make it to the next milestone, that you give up. It means you double down and you work harder. Because at the end of the day, the people who are coming up behind us need us to work harder. We as a community, women, African Americans, people in the Latinx community, all other marginalized communities, we are not just the stories of our collective trauma and pain. We are also our ancestors' wildest dreams. So in this moment, at this time, when we are more divided than ever, anytime I get a chance to come to a group of people and say, thank you for noticing, or thank you for caring, I wanted to do that in honor of all the people who never get this chance like I seem to. So again, to the village of not Olympia Fields, that's where I live, to the village of University Park, and all those who had a hand in making this award ceremony possible, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, not just for me, but for the people we all say we're here to serve. Thank you.
Okay. Pretty cool.
Yep, the integration of technology is exciting, and it's pretty neat that we had the opportunity to hear from Toy Hutchison.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see Tia, so I think that she may have dropped off.
Yep, it's time to make the donuts.
So the next awardee is someone, again, that I've known for many years and have not seen in a while, but when I saw her name on the list today, I was extra excited because I've known her in the capacity of her leadership and just watched the great leadership that she's done in Will County. Dr. Jennifer Bertino Tarrant. Dr. Bertino Tarrant is honored to serve as Will County's fourth Chief Executive Officer. Prior to her role as the county executive, Jennifer served 2 terms in the Illinois General Assembly. As a state senator, Jennifer was a leading advocate for public education and supporting students and teachers. Throughout her legislative career, Jennifer focused on fostering a vibrant Illinois and helping others through infrastructure investment, workforce development and training, protection of seniors, and expanding services for veterans. Jennifer began her career teaching high school students before becoming a school principal. Jennifer first entered public service in 2006 when she was elected as Will County Regional Superintendent of Schools, and that's where, in that capacity, I met her. She also served as an adjunct professor at the University of St. Francis, Joliet Junior College, and Olivet Nazarene. Jennifer Tarrant has been recognized by various organizations for her dedication and commitment to the community throughout the years. Jennifer graduated from St. Francis Academy in Joliet before earning a bachelor's degree from Illinois State University and a master's degree in curriculum and instruction from the University of St. Francis. In 2007, Bertino Tarrant completed her doctorate at Loyola University in curriculum instruction with concentrations in supervision and finance. And again, it gives me great pleasure to a long lost friend, but I'm glad that I've reconnected with her today. Jennifer, it's so great to have you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Great to see you. It's great to see you, Jeff. So yeah, Mayor, you're holding it up. I wish I could grab it. No, I'm so thankful to be here today, included with such dynamic women. And thank you to my friends at University Park. You have been very good to me since I have won the election and even beforehand. And so I'm very grateful. I feel so very fortunate to have earned the trust of voters. And for those of us who have dealt with elections, you know, it's a long journey during the campaigns. And so when you win their trust, when you win their vote, it's always very humbling. And I've done it now five times in different positions, but it never eases your mind. It never, you always need to reflect. It allows you to reflect on the people around you. And I have been so very fortunate to have wonderful people around me who support me. And I know I am here today because of those people. And I will say a lot of those are strong women who have lifted me up and worked besides me. Again, you know, there's a reputation that women don't stand behind women, but I don't find that to be true, because I know that I am successful because I have had a core group of people who continue to believe in me. And I think that is important for any success story. Again, I feel very humbled to be serving Will County. We know it's a wonderful place to live, to work, to raise a family. And it's especially a wonderful place to serve because we have such a diverse community, but we share a common core, and that is hardworking people who want the best for their friends, their family, their community. And I think we have seen this, as horrible as this pandemic has been, we have seen truly the best of people. And I feel very fortunate to be part of this, especially as we roll out these vaccines, to see the good in people, how everyone has come together to help one another. So I am thankful to the University of Park. Much like Toy, it's embarrassing when you get an award for doing something you love to do, and I do enjoy serving. But I am so very grateful to be recognized. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the University Park friends, and thank you to the other ladies and the hosts here today for including me in this. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you. Good to see you, Jeff.
Same here. I got to get out and have lunch with you.
Yes, please do.
All right, I will. Thank you. Congratulations. So great. And we're going to continue. I know that this feels like, you know, we're moving through this pretty swiftly, but I know that people do have schedules that they have to stay. And the next awardee is someone that has been in leadership positions, and it is Sonia Coffey. As the current CHW Management Group, LLC founder and president, Sonia Coffey is charged with guiding the day-to-day operations of her uniquely assembled African-American owned golf course management company through the collective guide of highly qualified team of professionals. Sonia's priorities include promoting superior client and operational services across every sector of golf club facilities. Integrity and transparency is paramount to her success plan. In addition to managing her team, she serves in a pivotal role as Guzzo and Gardner Custom Builders Comptroller, Chief Compliance Officer, and Project Manager, managing the day-to-day finances of more than $20 million over the last several years, which led to building 12 new homes worth more than $1 million each as part of building sustainable living communities. Wow, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. Recently, Sonia and her company were featured in the Parade of Homes, showcasing the great work and products it provides its client base. Sonia's education includes currently holding a state of Ohio residential real estate sales license upon completing 160 hours of coursework at Hondros College, in Westerville, Ohio, as well. Sonia is a state of Ohio official licensed notary, public authorized to officialize any classification of documents requiring notarization. Sonia attended Columbus State Community College with an emphasis on business management and received her high school education through the Columbus, Ohio public school system. Prior to Sonia's entrepreneurial birthing, faith, work ethic, civil engagement, and volunteerism helped shape her growth from humble beginnings as a golf caddy during her youth years, while later she would go on to work for the state of Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation claims supervising team during her more than 10 years and working at Ohio State University Athletics Department for 17 years with vehicle parking systems and services. Sonia's charitable and civic commitments are felt through visiting and helping women, men and children, residing in homeless shelters, donating clothes, food, and serving as a listening ear to those in need. Additionally, Sonia's recent political involvements include volunteering with Chicago City Council 16th Ward Alderwoman Stephanie Coleman in their campaign to victory, while at the same time voicing strong support for City of Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who is also a native of Ohio. In her private time, Sonia enjoys golfing, of course, horseback riding, cooking, football, and most importantly, spending time with her family and traveling. Sonia, congratulations to you and thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Good
To
evening.
the other honorees, I would like to say congratulations. To the Mayor, Office of Special Events, Mayor Rudez, village trustees, and residents of University Park. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to humbly accept this distinguished recognition, as I could not have done it without you. This honor belongs to all of us collectively, and I will always remember this in all I do going forward. Again, I thank you, and I look forward to working with the entire village of University Park in the very near future. Remember to stay safe and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Man, you were going to work. You were going to work.
I think Nina felt my vibe when she understood everything that I was saying, because I said over the last couple of months, in terms of as you've added Attorney Fain to the team, it's been nice to work with her in terms of planning some of the Mayor's Office of Special Events. So this also gives me extra pleasure. Attorney Nina Fain is a prominent corporate attorney who was one of the first Black female partners in an AM law 100 firm in the United States. As she is trilingual, she has represented United States and European corporate clients on 4 continents of the world. She loves to travel, I hope. In 2020, she received the Earl B. Dickerson Award from the Chicago Bar Association, which is given to exceptional lawyers of color who dedicate their skills and talents to the profession and communities which are underserved. Fain has worked in the public and private sector as a general counsel and chief legal counsel, having many firsts among her accolades and achievements. Fain's knowledge of complex corporate and finance transaction is well known. Fain's knowledge of complex corporate and finance transaction is well known and respected, resulting in a portfolio of work related transactions of more than $2 billion. However, she is most proud of her 30 years of service to the Black community, working always to improve diversity, inclusivity, promote African American culture, and to assure engagement of people of color, and to expand equity on the boards of directors, public commissions, and in the civic roles, which she has held. Fain has served on not-for-profit boards such as the Field Museum, and currently is a member of the University of Illinois Chicago African American Advisory Council. Also, she is the co-chair of the Chicago Bar Association Civic Committee. She holds a Juris Doctorate from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, a Bachelor of Masters of Science from Northern Illinois University in Education and Education Administration, respectively, as well as a Certificate of Advanced Graduate Studies from the University of Texas, Dallas Graduate School of Management. She went to school a lot, folks. Fain enjoys singing and traveling with her family, has her hobbies, tennis, English horseback riding, she's going to explain that to us in a second, opera, and collecting 20th century modern art. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate Attorney Fain on her award.
All right, congratulations. Hey, I keep lifting these awards up, man. When they get them, that's a heck of a piece of hardware. I'm lifting weights.
It's a work.
See there, we don't need a health club, Mayor. We've got cardio, award in cardio. Well, I just want to say thank you very much. I am extremely humbled. As I sit here today, I think about my grandmother who was from Missouri and the fact that she was not accepted at the University of Missouri Law School because of the color of her skin. And she said to me, you know, you're going to be a lawyer one day. And so here I am. And I think that for all of us, whether we are women, people of color, or broader categories of human beings, that we all are responsible for each other and for helping each other. And I thank all of the people who have helped me every day. As I look at the recipients that the First Lady and the Mayor have identified, I am just stunned by the depth of the accomplishments. And I know a little bit about what it took to get there. And these are extraordinary women, but they are women like our mothers, our partners, our spouses, who work every day in essential jobs or in homes to make us successful. And success is not about the academic accolades, it's about the humanity and the culture that we all share and the kindness that we show each other. So I want to say thank you again. And I want to thank in particular the First Lady and the Mayor, because when I left the AmLaw 100 law firm, I wanted to be able to use the skills that I had acquired in my community. And my community is the Southland area. And so the Mayor has given me an opportunity to do that and to work with each of you. I looked at Congressman Kelly, Congresswoman Kelly rather, and she's gone, so she'll laugh about this story. We went to Germany years ago when I was counsel to one of the chambers of commerce, and she had just completed her PhD, and she was late getting to the airport, and she had her dissertation in her hand. And I said, "What are you going to do with that?" She said, "I'm going to mail it from Munich." And I said, "No, we have to mail it here. You know, have you ever seen that DHL commercial?" And so she laughed. And so the rest is history. So I'm sure that we all have stories that we can tell. And I wanted to acknowledge Ms. Coffey in particular, because there was an African-American golf course that my mother played at called Tam O'Shanter that was in the south suburbs. And it was burned down when people found out that African-Americans had in fact bought it. And so my mother's gone now, but she would be very, very proud. I play tennis, I didn't play golf. So the new University Park revitalization of the golf course, I think will be a magnet. And we're just gonna all stand together, and we're all gonna help each other, and we're all gonna continue to work and to succeed. So thank you, I appreciate it, thank you. Mhm.
I got it. Okay, Mayor, I got it. I'm gonna get it on this last one, I think. We're on our last awardee, and I think I might just get it right in terms of unmuting myself. Mayor, did you have anything that you wanted to add before we go into the last recipient? Okay.
See, now he's muted.
All right. We will go on. Always like to bring the mayor in. We have a lot of fun with the Mayor's Corner when we do this. We do the Mayor's Corner every month. And so we do have a lot of fun with it. And, you know, we know that we have to be scripted in order to respect people's time. So Mayor, I just want to find out, did you have anything that you wanted to say before we honor the last recipient?
I do not at this time.
All right, thank you. All right, the last recipient is last but absolutely not least, is Dr. Reverend Ebony Only. She is a brilliant, energetic, and humble preacher and leader of God's word on an ordained mission to transform lives for the building of God's kingdom. Hallelujah. She takes God's message of social justice and grace to workshops, retreats, conferences, conventions, and the pulpit across the United States. Among the first of 3 women to be ordained as a clergy at First Baptist Church of University Park, where she serves as executive pastor, Reverend Dr. Ebony D. Only has consistently been a healer of the soul's everlasting breach. Often thought of as the Mother Teresa of the Southland, Reverend Only has transformed her church's operational mission to assure that God's vision of ensuring residents of the Southland area receive access to services is actualized. For example, she has developed outlets for COVID testing and personal protective equipment, distributed holiday food baskets, coordinated the local churches, fires victim relief efforts for victims of the Richton Park apartment fire that just recently happened, just to name a few missions she has undertaken. Closer to home, here in the University Park, as an angel of mercy and advocates to bring clean water to the University Park and distributed bottled water. Like Congresswoman Robin Kelly, Reverend Only is a staunch advocate of common sense gun reform, and she has organized protests in response to gun violence and police misconduct, cleanup efforts following the civil unrest, and facilitates trauma and grief support groups for victims and families. Known for her tireless work in the area of social justice, Reverend Only was a catalyst for the launch of the first ever healthcare committee on racial justice and social responsibility out of Bishop Anderson's house in Rush University Medical Center. Well educated to perform the duties of her calling, Reverend Only received a Bachelor's of Arts in Sociology from Chicago State University, Master's of Arts in Human Resources from Fort Hays State University, as well as a Master's of Ministry in Pastoral Leadership from Lee University School of Religion. Her Doctor of Ministry is from the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology at Virginia Union University. Reverend Ebony has served as a treasurer for the board of directors for Bishop Anderson's House and serves as a chaplain for the largest graduate chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, Inc. She's a proud member of the Order of Eastern Star and is an avid traveler who, like all of us watching tonight, looks forward to the end of the COVID travel restriction. Reverend Only has a tremendous sense of humor and enjoys comedy, as well as the spoken word of the Lord and listening to music in small venue concerts. Reverend Only is the last recipient tonight. Congratulations, and the floor is yours. Oh, not the last, near last.
Not the right, not the
Not the
last.
last.
I need the April pray.
We can't hear Reverend Only.
The April pray.
There she is.
All righty.
Uh-oh.
All right. Maybe if I mute mine, hers was unmute.
Testing 1, 2.
We can't
Turn the
hear her.
volume up on your computer. It's up. Your volume's up. Okay. All right. So I tell you what, Dr. Only, why don't you continue to try, and we'll go to the to Chief Wilson, and then if you get it, we'll come back to you. If you at the end, towards the end, is that good? All right, good. All right. So we'll come back to her. All right. So you know what? I made a mistake on this one. I probably should not have made it because he's a chief of police. And next time she sees me in the village of University Park, I could be in big trouble. So Chief, I am so sorry right now. Will you please accept my apology? I did not.
No
almost
apology
did it.
needed.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good. All right. All right. So Chief Deborah Wilson has 20 years of community policing experience as a member of the University Park Police Department. She started as a dispatcher with the department before taking on the role of a police officer, sergeant, commander, deputy chief, and then chief of police. Deborah was raised in a University Park as well. She's a graduate of Governor State University and from Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Commandment. Go Wildcats. As a chief of the department, she has focused on enhancing the relationships with the residents and officers that serve them. As University Park's first African-American female police chief, Deborah hopes to continue to bring change through community policing and transparency. This is especially important in today's climate with the perception of the police. Deborah plans to carry this out by fostering trust through accountability and legitimizing the department to better serve their community. Chief, thank you very much. And we acknowledge you and congratulate you.
Thank
and
you.
this acknowledgement and its award, and the floor is humbly yours.
That is such a beautiful award too. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm so very honored and humbled to receive this and to be chosen for this, to be one of the recipients of this. Listening to all of the experience and the education and the just vast majority of just professionalism here from the other honorees. Honestly, it's like I don't even belong here, but it is seriously, you all are truly awesome and something to look forward to. You're encouraging and inspiring. Thank you so very much to the mayor, the first lady, and chairwoman, all of the women here who have achieved and accomplished so much. It's just very humbling to just be here and listen to your stories. So thank you again. And I am so very proud to serve.
Thank you, Chief Wilson, for your service. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And it gives me great pleasure as we wrap up to thank and acknowledge one of the, actually the sponsor of this special night, and also the Black History Month night that we had. Miel is a co-sponsor of this event. And they have provided a very special gift to all of the recipients tonight, and with some of their very special products that they manufacture. So thank you very much for their support. And if there's anything else that Attorney Fain that you would like to say on their behalf, I'll yield 30 seconds to you.
Oh, well, thank you. I know that they are absolutely delighted to be part of Mayor Rudez's team. And as you know, the company's CEO is a lady. Her name is Monique Rodriguez, and she couldn't be with us tonight, but she's hoping that she will be able to join some of the activities that Mose is having over the summer. And I know that she was most impressed with the backgrounds of all of the ladies. And I laughed when Chief was saying, "Oh, I'm not qualified. You're the woman with the gun. You are saving the day." And your service is extraordinary as you put your life on the line every day. So, but I know Reverend Only is out there as well, and she has been godsend with some of the issues related to COVID and some of the issues related to the water problem. And I have worked with her on that team. And so I thank you and thank everyone on behalf of My L Organics Lab. Thank you.
And I got to come back to Reverend Only to see if we did get the mic issue resolved.
I think she's good.
Can you
All
hear me?
right, yeah, okay, all right.
All right, thank you.
So,
Thank you.
All right, so my order was correct, actually, it's just a little bit out of order. So last but not least, Dr. Only.
Well, first to God be the glory for the things my God has done. All glory and honor do belong to the Most High on tonight. And I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Lady Linda Rudez. First of all, thank you so much for the honor, and to the Honorable Joseph Rudez. Thank you as well. It's been a pleasure serving and working alongside you as we work to bring clean water to University Park, to the village trustees and the village residents. I am truly in awe to be among this company of women who have received this Village of University Park, Illinois Women's Leadership Award. These are women of great compassion, humility, and accomplishment, and I am honored to be named with them. I just want to pause for a moment to thank my mom, my 93-year-old grandmother, and my aunt, who were my models of ministry. They are living examples of what it means to love mercy, do justice, and walk humbly with God. For all of the mothers, other mothers, nanas, and aunties watching online today, all of you who nurture this community, I am filled with gratitude to accept this award, but on your behalf. Because it is you, my dear sisters, who do this work of COVID education, testing, and provision of PPE. It is you, my dear sisters, who do this work of educating and mobilizing voters. It is you, my dear sisters, who do this work of bringing clean water to the community and food to the hungry. It is you, my dear sisters, who did the work of helping those fire victims meet their immediate physical, emotional, and financial needs. It is you, my dear sisters, who are doing the work to decrease violence. You, my dear sisters, do the work of justice every time you show up and every time you speak out. There are many worthy of holding this honor, others who have exhibited far more courage, strength, and resilience than I have. So it's humbling tonight. The women in leadership experience for me has not been easy, but each of you give me the resolve to press on. As I look at those women who also received this award tonight, I press on knowing that we together desire a better University Park for our current residents and those who will come behind us. I press on knowing that our ancestors are watching and they too hoped for better and brighter days for us. As I press, I vow to continue to use the platforms and opportunities given to bring to light discrimination, oppression, marginalization, and victimization of God's people. I vow to speak up even if my voice shakes. I vow to continue to make the mess my message, because we, University Park, have a story to tell, and it's a good story. I just want to journey with you as we make it a better story. I want to close by sharing with you my vision that I read every morning when I start my day, and it is this. I desire a world where we all see the humanity in one another. I mean, truly see the humanity. A world in which we free ourselves from the bondage of selfishness and of evil. A world in which we can radically love. I imagine a world in which we are willing to give time, attention, and direction to those labeled as lost, where we can hear those who've been relegated to being voiceless, and a world where we see the invisible among us. Thank you again so much, Village of University Park. I truly appreciate being named with these honorable women on tonight. Thank you.
Wow. What do you say behind that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Silence. So Mayor, I do want to thank you for this opportunity, and working with the Mayor's Office of Special Events, it's just been a true delight. When I look at the number of people that are going to have these type of awards and acknowledgement of women, this is truly special. And it really is something that is representative of your leadership and of the First Lady's leadership, that you all want to acknowledge people. You want to make them feel special and let them know that you see their work. And it comes from true leadership and vision. So I do want to take a moment while we're acknowledging women to thank you, especially for this, and the First Lady, because it does take vision to do that. And I think each and every one of you women today, it's just been a great honor just to be here with you, amongst you and your company, to celebrate your growth, your leadership, and the great things that you're doing for our community in the Southland region. And I thank you very much for all that you're doing now and all that you're going to do. And I'll turn it back over to the Mayor, Joseph Rudez, for closing out. And good night to you all.
All right, Jeff, awesome, thank you. You know, I just want to share just a small bit of good news, because I really can't hold this, because it has been a long time coming for the village. And Jennifer, you're gonna really love this one too. Today, and Reverend Only, I was notified today that we were selected and we won the Governor's Hometown Award. We won the Governor's Hometown, the first one in the history of University Park, and we got it for revitalization of the town center and economic development. What a great opportunity to serve at this time. So I give my hat to everybody that made it happen. Thank you guys for participating with us. So as we close, I just want to thank Jeff Cohn, Tia Ewing, and all of our wonderful honorees here tonight. To our audience, my wife, Linda, the First Lady, I want to thank each of you for tuning in to our first annual Women's History program. We want the women of our village to know how much we appreciate each of you working at home and with your families each and every day. Finally, we want to remember all of our residents who have succumbed to coronavirus, and our thoughts and prayers are with those families every single day. We hope to be all together soon, and the moles that set up for socially distanced activities lined up for the summer. So please join us if you can. So we will ask you to keep an eye out for the village website for more details on those events soon. As we close, I want to remind us of the words of that phenomenal woman, Maya Angelou. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Ask for what you want and be prepared to get it. Good night from Joe Rudez. Linda, tell him good night. And thank you. Good night, everyone. Have a fantastic evening. What an honor to serve as the mayor of this great community. Thank you so much for your time. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
We'll be in touch with you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations, everybody.